A very good afternoon to all our chartered accountants friends. We welcome you all from the Committee on Promoting Work-Life Balance, a new committee formed in the council year 2025-26 under the leadership of our President Sir C.A. Charanjot Singh Nanda Sir, as well as our Vice President Sir C.A. Prasanna Kumar D Sir. A very warm welcome to all of you. This committee has been formed with a special objective to help you out, to encourage you to focus on your work as well as life. The personal life is equally important as your work life is. We all are chartered accountants professional, always busy with our deadlines, pressures, and technical constraints. We are all very good in our technical things, whether it be GST, income tax, accounting, or auditing. We all know how to deal with this, but sometimes we lag behind dealing with our family, friends, our passion. We usually forget our passion, our health, fitness. So the committee is specifically formed to encourage you all, to help you out, to focus on all these areas, as these form a very important part. At the end of life, we have to be a good human being along with the professional excellence. Humanitarian grounds and a good human being serves a purpose. Committee has been taking a lot of initiatives. One of our major initiative is daily virtual yoga session, which is early morning from 6 to 7 by a yoga acharya. That is on a daily basis. You can see those sessions. They are already there on YouTube. You can log in and see those sessions. Plus, we have also started the virtual Zumba session, which is from 8 a.m. to 9 a.m. on Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays. So at the click of button, you can prioritize your health. So physical fitness, physical health is very important. We are at North India. North India is very cold. It's very difficult for all of us to wake up early in the morning. But as we work late for our deadlines, we should wake up early for our health also. Considering this, our mental health is equally important. We should be mentally fit, we should be happy, we should focus on our family. Usually our friends, our family, our children make us happy, so that is also important. This committee is being run by our chairman, C.A. Chera sir, as well as our vice chairman, C.A. Sridhar Mupala sir. Under them, both of their initiatives, we have taken a lot of initiatives here, which we are doing, and the committee is organizing every weekly webinar session, maybe sometimes two in a week. We had many good sessions. You can see how the CPR is working, how the various aspects of work-life balance is being performing, what is to be taken care of. So I would request everyone to please focus, please take care, and take a full advantage of all these things. And in case of anything else, if any other suggestion which the committee can work upon, you can please write us to wlbc@icai.in. We are always there. And for coming towards this session, which is specifically on the power of prioritization amid professional pressure, one of the major area of our work-life balance. For this, we are honored to have our special guest, C.A. Poonam Pathak ji, who's a special invitee, who's of the committee also. Thank you, ma'am, for coming here, sparing time for us, as well as our seasoned moderator, C.A. Manish ji. Thank you, Manish ji, for taking out time and moderating the session. I'm sure your valuable inputs, as well as Poonam ma'am's valuable input, will help us out, will serve the purpose, encourage our audience, our chartered accountants, to focus even 2-3 words or 2-3 lines of our session can impact your life. If they impact your life, our purpose is done. So not taking much time, ma'am, over to you, Manish ji, for the session. Thank you for coming out here.
Thank you so much, Priyam, for the ma'am. I think your wordings have put up the energy in this session.
Thank you.
So, our esteemed colleagues and respected guests, a very good afternoon. Wishing you all a very happy new year, New Year of 2026. It's privilege today to step into 2026 as we mark both progress and promise. So this is a time of the year when our ideas will turn into actions. We'll make a lot of decisions which will shape the future for our lives. On behalf of Committee on Promoting Work-Life Balance, I, CA Manish Sharma, currently a managing partner for a supply chain company, and prior to this, working in industry as an SAP consultant and a financial planner for a FMCG MNC. I welcome everybody. Welcome to the session of Power of Prioritization amid professional pressure. So let's just, first of all, this is an honor to share this space with such a dignitaries, and I look forward to learn, exchange ideas, and contribute meaningfully to this session. I welcome Poonam ma'am, and I thank Priyamada ma'am for this good opportunity. So, the Committee on Work-Life Balance is an initiative of ICAI, which has been constituted with an objective to enhance the well-being of the stakeholders of ICAI. The terms of references of committee are to inspire professional to embrace personal well-being activities such as art, culture, literature, yoga, meditation into the daily lives of holistic growth and overall well-being. This noble cause is driven by our chairman of the committee, CA Jay Shera sir, vice chairman of our committee, Sri Sridhar Mupala sir, and secretary of our committee, CA Priyamvada Shabra ma'am. In my personal capacity, I thank you, all of you and your team, for coming up with this committee and making a difference to the lives of CAs around us. So for today's topic, I think prioritization for me is something called summarization. So summarization, generally what we do is we summarize our past, what we have done in the last 1 year, what we have done in the last 5 years. For me, prioritization is summarizing the future, what we'll be doing in the next an hour, a day, a month, or a year. So that is what I would talk about prioritization. How do we prioritize everything into our life? One of the example which I would take up for prioritization is a CA course. There was a time when we would pursue articleship, when we would prioritize our practical learning. And there's a time when all of us has got a study leave, when we will just put aside our practical learning, meld that with our professional learnings, and see how we could just learn quickly with respect to our practical and theoretical learnings. So with this, we welcome the speaker of our session today, CA Poonam Pathak, a finfluencer who has been awarded as top 40 finfluencer for the year 2024 by FTLD of ICAI. She is a financial leader with expertise in company law and NRI taxation. She is trusted advisory to corporates, NRIs, entrepreneurs, and help them to navigate complex regulatories. She has been a former managing committee member for the Navi Mumbai branch of ICAI. Poonam has contributed significantly to members' engagement, student developments, and strategic decision making. She holds the prestigious credentials of IICA Qualified Independent Director, equipping her to serve on company board with insights on compliance, sustainability, and strategic oversight. She's a published author, Joe Stock speaker, recipient of Star Women Award by WIRC of ICI, and an active participant as a special invitee to the ICI Committee on Promoting Work-Life Balance. So when we take today's session, Poonam will brief us to all the ways how we could prioritize with respect to our professional pressures. I now hand over this to Poonam.
Thank you so much, Manish, for this lovely introduction, and I'm grateful for the committee. I'm serving as a special invitee, and I'm grateful towards the chairman of this committee, Jay sir, and vice chairman of this committee, Sridhar sir, secretary Priyambada ma'am, who has always been supportive and given me this opportunity to share my insights on today's topic. And our president sir came up with this committee by the idea of how, like, we as a professional chartered accountant, we excel in the technical topics. We are very much aware of all the taxes laws, but somewhere there are maybe a majority, we can say, professionals we are always busy. As a committee member also, I got opportunity to meet many men, and somewhere we just keep repeating कि time कहाँ है, time कहाँ है, we don't have time. And if we think from the perspective like what we say, what we become, generally आप इसको law of attraction के point of view से भी देख सकते हैं, और as a mindset coach आप mindset how you perceive the thing. So if we keep repeating the word we don't have time, we don't have time, we don't have time, that becomes our reality. So we have to work on our mindset if we want to overcome this thing that कि टाइम हमारे पास नहीं होता है चीज़ों को करने के लिए. Everyone have the same 24 hours to do anything and everything, in which we need to prioritize what does matters to us most. And uh, so leaving this mindset, and in today's session we will be discussing how we can overcome of these beliefs which we have formed. And uh, these beliefs we acquire, whatever the belief, actually any person, like if Poonam is there, Manish is there, we are the product of the things we have seen, we have heard, and what we have experienced till now, till this age we have experienced, and we become that product. That product have the belief system कि ओके, सो मनीष का एक बिलीफ सिस्टम है, पूनम का एक बिलीफ सिस्टम है, किसी दूसरे पर्सन का भी एक बिलीफ सिस्टम है. एंड वी कीप ऑपरेटिंग थ्रू दैट बिलीफ सिस्टम until we did not realize कि okay, there is some change is needed. So let's discuss why we need this change, बिलीफ सिस्टम को बदलना क्यों है, and how it can be changed, and what are the better things, what are the better lines that can be used, जिससे कि हम इंक्लूड कर सकते हैं मोर थिंग्स इन अवर लाइफ, और वो करना भी क्यों जरूरी है. So these are the all things we will be covering today. So
Yeah, Poonam. So I'm sure we're going to have an exciting session and engaging sessions. And I would just request all our viewers if you could keep posting your questions parallelly. So within in a break of 15 or 20 minutes, we'll keep taking the questions parallelly. So we'd all request you to just make it an engaging session for all of us.
yeah, so as we discussed that not making it theoretical, the more we will be sharing the our experiences, how we overcame those challenges when we thought that we don't have time. Like when joining the CA, the most uh, difficult or challenging thing is managing the time only with the article shape, with our studies, work, maybe the social life. And for that phase, maybe 2 months, 3 months we are preparing for exam, we have to drop few things like the social life, maybe this, and at that time we are prioritizing our studies. After that we can prioritize other things. So we are, I think, doing this from the our study time also. So
Yes.
how that can be done in better way.
Yes. Yes, Moon. Yeah. So I think this is one of those courses which has trained our mind very, very well. At a very young age, whereby people are struggling to figure out what is to be done, we have been told what we have to prioritize. And with our seniors, and especially the chairman of this committee, who has been a very young achiever, I think they have been setting up examples as a leaders for us. So, leaders when we qualified, and as seniors when we as students, and they have always told us. So whenever we would go and meet any of our seniors, they would tell what is to be prioritized at that moment of life, right? So and sometime they would have an experience which we are going to have in the next 6 months or a year, right? So that is how they would prioritize. Get this is your next step. Focus on this, and that is what will result into you being a qualified CAs. And post qualification, they have set up examples as leaders and told us like what we have to prioritize in our life. So I think giving priority to life, to activities in life, is very, very important.
Yeah.
Yeah, Bhumi.
So I have made a PPT. I'm like, it will take only 20-30 minutes. So I want to run off. Is it visible?
Yes, Bhumi, it's visible.
Yeah. So first thing I want to talk about, like start with why. Any work that is coming to you at your personal life, at your professional life, uh, first thing we should ask to ourselves, and Manish, you can also share on these topics. These are just like, I think we can talk on it. Start with why we should do it. Because there is one saying that if nothing needs to be done and we are trying to do it, somewhere we are wasting our time. So prioritizing that whether this work is need to be done or not to be done. Maybe we are just putting our time and उसको करने का कोई requirement ही नहीं था. So start with a why, thinking whether we are supposed to give our time to this task. This can be implied like the, if your client came and you have one mindset we have made as a professional, that whatever work coming to us we have to accept. So while I was speaking to one of my colleagues, they are like, "Ki we never say no to the work." But if we are not saying no to the work and you are not deciding what you are going to do, how you want to live your life, and whatever the work is coming, whatever the assignment is coming, and even if that assignment is coming at the last day, or on the 31st December, the client is coming and we are ready to say yes. In that time, in that way, somewhere we are not prioritizing our peace of mind. We can say yes, and the client at the last time, they are not ready with the data, they are not ready with the documents, and these kind of client in future also not going to help us much, because the person who have that attitude that they are not disciplined about their compliances and all, and if they are with you, so they are not going to add much of in your firm's growth as well. This is like my experience, what I have experienced with these clients. They are always in delay, they are always maybe delay in making the payment as well. So you are not getting that documents on time, you are not getting your payment on time, but still you want to hold those clients in your firm, you still, you are ready to serve those clients. So in that way, the energy, the efforts you are putting there, whether that is adding value in your life, in your growth. If no, then decide whether I want to do this work or not. I want to do this work. Similarly can be the question in your personal life also. Many people like this right now, we are full of distractions, and every product, everything, like you can say in the social media there is lot of pop-up bill keep coming. So everyone is selling something. They may be selling their products, they may be selling their services, they may be selling their pages which are coming on your feed. And so you are distracted, and they wants to brainwash by the selling something. And if you are not prioritizing your time, your values are, whether this is aligned to my goal, in that case you will just keep going here and there and there, and end up wasting your time. So people may ask you to do many things, but you have to choose that whether I should do it, and why I should do it. If I'm giving my 10 minutes so to this session, if you are giving your 2 hours here, ask yourself why I am giving, and what is why of today's learning, and मैं यहाँ पे क्यों हूँ, इस सेशन से मुझे क्या चाहिए. Until we are not asking ourselves कि मुझे सेशन से क्या चाहिए, आपको वो शायद 2 घंटे देके भी you are not going with anything. So that is very much important, because you can do anything but not everything. सो जो चीज़ें करने की आपको ज़रूरत नहीं है उनको छोड़ना, जस्ट लीविंग देम, इज ऑल्सो वेरी मच इम्पॉर्टेंट टू प्रायोरिटाइज योर वर्क, योर टाइम एंड योर लाइफ. And this I believe in my life, कि the biggest ceiling in our life is the one we place on ourselves. हमारे जो limits हैं, हमारे जो कैपेबिलिटीज़ हैं, अगर इस पे कोई सीलिंग है तो वो हम खुद ही लगाते हैं. वाई सेइंग कि नहीं ये तो पॉसिबल नहीं है, टाइम नहीं है, जो मैंने अभी पहले भी बोला. जब भी मेरा डिस्कशंस होते हैं विद द सीनियर, दे लाइक टाइम नहीं होता है, वी आर ऑक्यूपाइड, ये है. बट वो सीलिंग्स, वो टाइम नहीं है, या फिर मेरे पास अभी इसको कर, वी विल डू इट लेटर, प्रोस्क्रेनिट करते रहेंगे कि बाद में करेंगे, बाद में करेंगे, ये टाइप ऑफ सीलिंग्स हम खुद ही अपने ऊपर इम्प्लाई करते रहते हैं. वंस वी आर एबल टू ब्रेक these ceilings and saying to ourselves that everything is possible. So I have written in my this cabin only, everything is possible. So if I see every day that everything is possible, everything is possible, sometimes my mind is breaking that ceiling ki, yes, there are the possibilities and it can be done.
So, Poonam, as we go forward, I would like you to take your personal example. So, you started with your CA once you had completed your graduation. So, there were a lot of ceilings which you would have. I mean, the families would have put up a ceiling, your societies would have put a ceiling, your probably your seniors or people around you would have put up a ceiling. As I know, you are the first CA of your city, so and female CA of your city, which is a remarkable achievement which you have done. So I would just request you to share those examples where you prioritize your learnings. Oh, and how did you come out of those ceilings?
Yeah. So, as I remember, like I'm a home science student. Till 10th, I was a home science student. And then I told my father that I want to take commerce because I heard from my friends that I want to, that they are pursuing commerce. And I don't know how, out of curiosity or something, I thought I will also do the commerce. But joining a commerce class, I have to join a college which is co-ed, and up to 10th I was into the girls school, and in my family till then nobody has studied with the boys. So the major thing was like कि आप boys के साथ कैसे जाओगे, and we will not allow you to study because the environment of that town is like that only. So that was the ceiling. I don't know the math, and I was studied till the BCom in the Hindi medium only. So studying in the English subject was also a problem. Like I have never studied, and then in the CPT I have to do all my studies in the English, and maths I don't know anything about it, the cells, solving the equation and all. So at that time when I joined, when I asked my parents that I want to do CA, they said "Ki it is not possible, we have to send you out of city and all the things, and we cannot manage." Anyhow, I did this, and my sister has taken me to her place Agra, and I joined a tele course. So at that time I thought whatever I am getting, at least I am like out of my city and I can figure out something. When I joined the telecourse, so I was always searching, I was always exploring the option कि मुझे बस एक opportunity मिल जाए and I will do. And maybe at that time the universe helped me, and I placed, after completing my tele course, I placed in a CA firm only. And then I saved some money, 3,500. I think that at that time the registration charges. So out of my, I was getting 2,500 salary. So I saved that in 2 3 months, and I registered. I used to ask people where is the way, because at that time we don't have mobile, we don't have Google Maps and everything. So I used to ask them the roads on the paper. Okay, now the left, now the turn, and I just reached the ICI Agra, and I registered myself with their help. And then I started searching for the classes which are in the morning, because in the daytime we have to I have to do the job, and in the morning nobody is taking the classes, because at the time the PCC and final classes used to be in the morning because they have to go for articles. If CPT is mostly in the afternoon time. So I keep searching, I keep searching. I think I have gone to every class in there, and I found one class they are doing in the afternoon. So after that I met with a few people. They are like, there is a girl who was pursuing a job, and she was searching for the class which allow her to do in the afternoon. I told I am that girl, and I was searching in the CA final, I think. So people know that there is a girl who is like desperately searching for the class कि वो job के साथ अपनी classes complete कर सके. एंड आज मैं अगर मुड़ के उधर देखूँ तो व्हाट आई प्रायोरिटाइज्ड कि आई वांट टू डू सीए, आई वांट टू डू क्लास, एंड आई वांट टू डू सीपीटी. दैट वाज माय प्रायोरिटी. What people are thinking about me, whether I have resources or not, whether I know the roads or not, those things were not my in the my priority list. I was just laser focused that any I want to do CPT, and that's it. And I got my class. Then I told my father that I have joined CA, and he's like, "We told you that it's a very difficult course. It will take 4 5 years, and we are supposed to get you married in 1 or 2 years, and this is not so long. You will be able to do, and it is difficult. We have heard and all those things." But I denied all the facts that it is difficult, I will not be able to do, and then those all the ceilings. I thought, no, this doesn't exist. If I want to do, I will achieve. And in the 2 3 months only, then I dropped the other what I was not good at. I don't. I will not go give much focus to on those subjects which I'm not good. Like the math was very horrible at that time. So I said, okay, whatever I can do in this, but what I'm good at the memory part. I can learn. I can do this. So I focused on that. So in that way, whatever our strength, we can focus more on that. And what is becoming a challenge, you can just defocus it. You can
Yeah, so
just
Poonam, with that, what we understand is ceilings are going to be there in every course with every stage of our life. What we need to prioritize, as you said, is what is there with us. And one thing which we need to be always ready is for the opportunities. So people should always keep looking for opportunities. And with opportunities, it doesn't mean that an opportunity is like one-time occasion. So you have a long-term goal, which you had as a CF final course. And the first opportunity for you was pursuing your CPT. So I think when you took that first opportunity, you started laying down the path for your final goal. And I think that's the most important thing when we talk about prioritizations and when we talk about breaking ceilings, right?
right, right, right. And also the defocus the things. If in our life we think this is out of our control, just defocus it. Remove it from your life, from your thinking, and I think completely ignore it, and then that becomes a very small thing for your in your life. The more you want to give that thing your thoughts, you keep watering it, that then it will be a very big challenge for you.
Yeah, so it is like defocusing your ceilings.
Yes.
Yes, yes, yeah,
Yes.
yeah,
In that way, that becomes a very small in your life.
that's right. Yeah, so we can continue.
Yeah, so this is a question I want to ask to the participants. When was the last time you felt genuinely in control of your day? Your day is not running you, you are running your day.
Yeah, so parallelly, when we have the answers coming from our viewers, I would take an example. This is a recent example when 31st was a day when I was very relaxed. The reason why I was relaxed and probably I was controlling my day was because I finished up all my tasks before the last day of that month, and I was very sure what I'm going to do for the first and second of the next month. So when you talk about the last time when had a control over my day was always when I had completed my tasks and when I had planned for the very next day.
Yeah. So in this conversation, one thing is coming that you have planned your day. So if we are not planning our day, if we are not prioritizing what the things we are doing and not setting the intentions for the day, that the day just carry away our time, and whatever the things coming, we are just keep accepting ki yes, 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 yes. But if we have prioritized and planned our day, so then you will be saying yes to the thing those are aligning with your task and with your plans.
Yeah, Poonam. So one of the another example which we can take for this occasion is with every new year we used to have calendars, right? And with calendars we always had diaries also. So we would write it down what is to be done on what day. So that is another way how we would plan ourselves and we would give an opportunity and prioritize our work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what I do, like every first week of January, I have a journal, and in which I wrote all kind of my goals, because we have our career goals. Like there is a book which is called Five Types of Wealth, and in this, wealth doesn't mean the amount you are having in your bank account, your assets. Wealth is also your social life. That is or your wealth, your health, that is or your wealth, your spiritual growth, how you are inclined toward the spirituality, toward the higher knowledges, that is also your wealth. So in that way we can make different kind of goals, maybe our health goals, financial goals, personal goals, and spiritual goals. So that's the journal I write every year, and I write how I set intentions for the year. This year, how I wanted to be known, in which area I want to grow more. Poonam Pathak means what people going to know her. So what the activities we are doing uh, by using the social media, what we are talking, what we are writing, what we are sharing. This is how you are known. This is how your brand is created. So what you are going to do for 2026, how people should know Manish as an entrepreneur, and in which areas you wanted to be known, because सब कुछ तो हमें नहीं करना है. So एक intention set करना है for the year. And once you have a clear intention set for that year, it will be very easy for you to divide it for the monthly goals, then the weekly goals, then the daily goals, whether it is aligning or not. For the month also, you can write what kind of activities you want to include in your month. So your activities can be, if somebody loves trekking, they can include, okay, I want to go for the trekking, I want to go for the temple, and I want to attend these kind of activities. And this, once you are writing this, you are setting the intention, it will definitely work. And this is something I have applied in my life very well, that if I'm not writing, then those are not actually happening also in my life. So just setting the goals, and then only you will be able to prioritize and divide your time according to those goals. So this also can be done, because 2026 is just started. So in that way we can plan our whole month. And one more thing is that in our professional, अगर हम practice area से बात करते हैं, there are the due dates, like for the 31st March there are some things need to be completed, then the July or September and all. But there are few tasks which we can do prior to the due dates also. We need not to wait, but we keep waiting that no, this is something due date is 30th September. So like the director KYC, we need to do up to 30th September, and I completed it in April. First, the clients are not able to accept. They're like, "Ki the due date is September," but I said ki we can do it in April. Why should we wait for the 30th September? Then there is one of my colleague. He said ki, so the client will pay us in the after the September will complete the whole will. But I said, if we are sure that client will pay us, if we are in doubtful, then if you are doubtful that client will not pay, you just discuss with that client, and maybe from the 100, 15% or 20% maybe who are not paying you in time. So better to leave those clients. Like if I have 100 clients, I don't want to work 10 years or 20 years with all those 100 clients. There may be the replacement who are not aligning with my goals, who are not adding growth to my firm. I can drop those clients, and the new clients will keep coming, and you just need to choose which are the people you want to work. So those things we can, which can be done prior, like in the April we can do, in the May we can do, we can complete this instead of waiting for the due dates. Because when we keep waiting to the due dates, that time we are taking in the earlier months, it will take double or thrice time when the portal is not working, the load is heavy. So in that way also it can be planned here.
Yeah, Poonam. So I think that is one of the good examples because all of us struggle with technical glitches on the technical portals. And I think with giving a priority to our work, prioritizing our tasks, we are all aware that when are we going to finish what task. And we can always create a space for all the last moment rushes which is there on the websites. So Poonam, as we go forward, we have a few questions which has come up from our viewers. So the first one is by Anil Gupta ji. He has posted two questions. And the first one, what he talks about is why does prioritization often break down when pressure increases? So he generally wants to understand like I mean how we would prioritize our day or a month, and suddenly we have a different pressure which is coming up. And with respect to that pressure, we would just deprioritize our work. So he's wanting to know what is that key reason why because of which we deprioritize few works during a pressure time.
So what I believe, when pressure comes, we are not in that calm state. We are not in that controlled state of ourselves. whatever is coming to us, we are just carried away by that. In maybe the, like you have experienced those salesperson, they wants to create a urgency. No, book that, otherwise you will lose the discount, you will lose this discount, you will get only in the 2 month 2 hours, otherwise you will lose it. So they want to create a kind of urgency, so you are losing the control of yourself, and then it is very easy to manipulate you or to get things done by you, by creating a kind of urgency. Similarly happens in case of the pressures created, maybe the clients, maybe the things we have taken, and some clients comes with lot of urgency that this need to be done within 1 day only, and so things. So that I thought, in my practice I made a rule that nothing kind of urgency we will accept. Everything like at least 6 hours, 10 hours, 20 hours I have to decide. So I'm not just carried away by the things which people wants to be done by me. Instead deciding what I want to do. So in this sales calls also, I said, I will take 24 hours to think. So we become vulnerable in those situations when people put pressure on us. So first thing we need to practice being more in control those emotions, rather than carried away by the emotions, but what actually need to be done. So here one example I want to say, what this is quite personal. I lost my father last year, and I got that news. I was in the middle of my election campaign. For 2 hour, 1.5 hour something, I was in that grief, and I booked the ticket. My husband booked the ticket and all. Then before leaving for the hometown, I came to office. I signed all the documents, which because for 1 week I'm not into the office. I called my team. See, I'm going this to my hometown, and this will need to be done. I have written everything for them. I signed that. So out of those emotions, that emotion of grief, sadness, you lost the most important person you have in your life, but you have to be in that control. What need to be done, that is supposed to be done. So have, here the emotional intelligence will play a role. So if clients want to put pressure on you, maybe the other things are coming, you just keep saying that everything is working out, everything is working out for me, and I will get the solution. So that will make you calm in
Yeah,
those
Poonam. Yeah,
situations.
so I think one of the example which clearly says like how we should not be carried forward, and I think you have rightly said what we want to be. The point of at that moment, what we need to understand what we are and what we want to be. I think Mr. Anil Gupta has shared a very practical question. Like it's like when I talk about myself, I think every day, every moment, I'm under pressure. So the pressure is all being created by people around us, and rightly said by Poonam, you need to prioritize what you are at that moment. What are you and what you want to be? And just understand there's a set of people who are building pressure around you, and there's a set of people who are trying to relieve your pressure also around you. So you need to look on to people who are here to help you out to depressurize yourself from those moments. So Anilji will take up the second question which you have posted is how can professionals distinguish between urgent noise and truly important work. So I think your question itself has an answer, which says that urgent noise. So the word noise has actually stated what we actually should be distinguishing between is the noise and the work. So Poonam, if we can just take up an example and talk about how we distinguish between an urgent noise and a truly important work. So can you share some examples whereby we can talk about this?
Yes, yes, at the professional level also, sometimes if there is a urgent due dates, a client have to submit the document, otherwise they may have to pay some penalty. So at that time, if it is not the regular thing that client is doing, if this client is doing out of habit, every month they are coming just rushing, 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 and this is this. So this I think a noise, let them pay the penalty, let them face the consequences, and then they will come to know कि, okay, if I am not doing this time, there is some consequences, there is some penalty that I have to pay. Because if their pressure the client's pressure, client's negligence we are taking on ourselves, that is becoming a hardship for our own mental peace. So that can be. But if anything urgent and out of maybe some maybe the client faced some medical urgency, like one of my client, he got heart attack in the December only, so everything hampered because he knows everything other people cannot handle. In that case, that becomes urgency to support that person, to take little bit more efforts for that person. So sir, we need to decide as case to case in life what need our urgency and what is just a noise they are trying to make unnecessary urgency, unnecessary kind of situation where their negligence, their pressure they are putting on yourself, on you, so you want to take that, or whether you can just say a no to that situation.
Yeah, Poonam. So I think that is one of the good examples when which we relate to the clients. So urgent noise is probably when we make of your client sitting in our office, like, Acha, you also come at 1 o'clock, you come at 2 o'clock, and you come at 3 o'clock, and all of them will be sitting in our office, as practical as sitting on our head, asking every work to be completed on time. And at that moment, picking up what is an important task, maybe the client which has come at the second number or third number has more important task. We could just finish it at some time and give a next deadline. So when we say how we can distinguish is obviously is when we give people a deadline. When we have a deadline and we have an internal deadline which we give it to people and say, okay, this is a time by which your work will be ended. There's no use of creating that noise till that time because the work is not going to happen till that time. So one of the practical ways of saying no to people, whereby we can cut down those noise and concentrate more on our important work. Yeah. So Poonam, we have a few more questions coming up. I think we'll continue with the session, the next slide, and then we'll come back to the question.
Okay. So I think this we have discussed. Does your calendar show your priorities? So making your calendar, putting your things which are your priority on your calendar. In that way, you know, okay, on this date, this thing need to be done. This have priority, and for the whole month, you can create a calendar, and then you have a space also to accommodate what the urgent work is coming and the surprises in the month is coming to you, that you can include. So in the December month, we got the notice from the department just in the last week, and that is something a surprise we have to accommodate in our calendar, which was not planned. We have planned the due dates only. So in that way, we can make some space for the urgent works also. And another thing, like, are you, this I want to discuss, are you busy because you are important, you are doing the important things, or because you are avoiding your choices? What you, your choices that you are avoiding, and you are just busy whole the day thinking you are doing everything is important, and that may not be that much important to you. So, should we take up the questions?
Yep. So we have a next question by Sanchit Gupta. So a very practical question which he's trying to understand is during peak periods, like during tax audit time or assessments, and everything seems to be a high priority, right? And how as CAs we can practically distinguish between what is truly critical and merely just urgent about it. Yeah, so he's trying to understand how we could practically distinguish in between what is urgent and critical.
Yeah. So in this case, you can just write it down, everything that's need to be done, and it on what date, like maybe in the coming 10 days, what we need to do. And then just keep thinking about it. Okay, अगर इसको अभी नहीं किया तो what are the consequences? So that may be depending upon the consequences we can face, we can prioritize it in that way. And out of those maybe the 50 tasks we have to do in the 10 days, how much we need to do, how much we can delegate to other people, because we have the mindset of doing everything by ourselves also. So delegation will also play a major part here. So uh, uh, in that way you can like the prioritize okay, this is first I need to do, and how much time I need to devote on that, how much my other colleague can devote. So if you have written like on the first day, this is the time that much hour I need to put in this work, and on the basis of the consequences I have to face if I'm not doing it on the time. So that will help you to align with the work need to be done.
Yeah. So Poonam, what Sanchit actually wants to say is also what we can call is urgent is something which we plan. We know this is what we need to do as the first task, second task, third task, and that is how we say what is the urgency of the task. And what generally happens is something which just pops in between those tasks, and that is how they becomes critical, right? So,
Mm.
Sanchit, one of the ways is to understand what is to prioritize is just break down your criticality into two, three things. Is your criticality an urgency, or is your criticality something which can be delegated to someone? As what Poonam said is, you need to just distinguish your criticality into two parts. Is it an urgent thing? Then obviously you'll have to pick it up. And one of the ways to accommodate your criticalities is keeping a space between your tasks. So whenever you're working on a day, just understand there's a break which you need to give to yourself, a time which is like a me time for yourself, whereby you are reading something or probably uh, trying to engage in some other activities. And that is how you can give your time to a critical activities. Like one of an example which I would like to quote is a very senior to of us would delegate tasks to us and then start reading a book. So if you understand, he's creating a space for himself to accommodate those critical opportunities. And when I see him as a senior, he's trying to summarize what is being written in that book and giving that as a learning to us. Right? So I think creating a space for yourself will also help you to manage your critical tasks. Yes, Puneet?
Yes, yes, yes.
Yeah.
And actually, everything may not be that critical or that urgent that people want to show us. So, as a professional, we need to understand actual this is that much urgent to that person or not. Like sometimes the client is coming कि बहुत urgent है, but if you are giving them after 2 3 days also, na, they are able to manage.
Right. And I think that is what practically happens in life also. Even if you're working as a professional or you're engaged in some companies, you need to better understand what is the demand of the person who's putting up your a question or query to you. Does that demand says that you need to give current time to him, or probably you can post it for next moment and then pick up what is urgent for yourself. Yeah, so Poonam, as we go forward, we'll just take another question by Tushar. He says, how can technology and delegation support smarter prioritization in the CA profession? So he
Uh,
wants to understand about technologies and delegation, the way we delegate our work, which would also help us to smartly prioritize our CA profession.
So this is practically actually we need to imply in our day-to-day practice, and nowadays we have technology, we have people who can work for us. This is the only thing adaptability we need, and the mindset we need to adapt here. The more technological things we have to accept, and we have to adapt in it. Like nowadays chat gpt is there, like the ai tools are there. We have to use it more and more. Like there is a technology word to is this speech to writing. So I use that only instead of writing. I use a lot to speech to word, because I'm middle of something, I just write it to draft something for my clients and all, and that thing helps us to save our times. Like today's ppt I created through that only. So using that technological part and delegation, if something can be done by the others, as a professional we have to actually drop that, and we should focus on the higher goals, on the higher things which and new learnings also. There is so much new coming. The ai, as a chartered accountants we must learn, and the new courses. So every year I put 2 3 courses in my schedule कि मुझे ये topic के बारे में, like the once we became CA, it doesn't mean that we know everything. We just keep exploring, we just keep learning. So if we are engaged in only executing the work, we will be stay where we are. So if we want to grow, you have to learn on the leadership things, on the other part, human behavior. I have done a certification in the neuro linguistic programming, that is called NLP, how our neurons get programmed through the language we speak. So and about the visualization and other techniques in that course I have learned, and that actually practically implying that in my practice as well. We will get that time of learning new things to becoming a better version of ourselves only when we are delegating the work we are already doing. So what I follow, I'm doing something for 3 4 months, I will do that, and then I will drop it to someone else, so I can just monitor, I can just review that, and after that I need not to execute that. So finding the right people,
Right,
delegation is also an art. So how you can delegate them, that is the one.
right,
There's
right,
a book also on that, how to delegate. So I keep learning from the books as well. If a new skill I want to learn, I read, and all the, I think almost on all the topic there is a book.
right, right. Right. So, Tushar, with your question, I would also give one of the example is WhatsApp group. That's one way how we integrate our
Yes.
technology. Earlier, we would say that every customer or every client will come back to us and he'll ask us the query, and we'll delegate it to someone in our team, and then that's how the task would go on. And these days, we create a WhatsApp group whereby there's someone in the team who also understand how to prioritize our work. So until unless it is very very important, they would not be marking you individually on that WhatsApp group. So that is one way how we use our technology. And the other way is how we keep a control on all the activities. So at the end of the day, you can always go through all those chats and understand what was being told, and you can always intervene and say your team, "Acha, this is what client was expecting, and this is what the result should be, and here is where you should be giving your task." So I think melding both the technology and delegation is one way how we could balance our work life, and that's how we can prioritize our work, and we can tell other people also how to prioritize our work. So, Poonam, as we have another few more questions coming up, I will just continue with this session and come back to the questions.
Yes, yes, yes. So this is one question, like how often do you say yes out of fear or alignment? And we must agree on this. Lot of time we say yes because other people should not get offended. उनको बुरा नहीं लगना चाहिए, इसलिए हम yes 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 बोलते चले जाते हैं. But here we need to learn two things: to say no and to accept no as well. I don't know why we have that mindset. If somebody says no, we get feel like na offended कि अरे इसने ना बोल दिया मुझे. So just accepting that person's no, कि okay, if I'm asking question to you, like can you do this, you have option to say yes and to say no as well. And this mindset I should have, कि that person has the option to say no as well. And if that person is saying no, that doesn't mean that person is not good, and मैंने तो उसके लिए ये किया था, इसने तो ये कर दिया, and we just keep creating the story, longer stories. So if we accept that no with a peace, that makes a lot of difference. So I contested for the election. There is lot of no I heard. Lot of no, not regarding just for voting, maybe a lot of things. But then I accepted. Okay, this person can do this thing for me. I'm accepting. If that person is ready to give me few contacts, few, like no, they can tell me about something about that. That is also okay to me. So accepting the no and also saying the no. If it is not aligning to you, you should be very much confident, or it comes from the self worth also. What people are assuming about you, what they perceive about you, that doesn't makes you what you are. You are content with your self worth, and you are very much feeling that I'm enough, kind of, then you will be okay, able to say no to that person. So this is art of saying no. We have to learn in our professional as well as maybe in the personal life also. Many times we just keep saying out of the fear, otherwise these people will get hurt or something. But the cost of saying that yes will be the emptiness what you feel after doing something which you don't want to do.
Yeah, Poonam. So I think that is rightly aligned, is saying no and listening no. I think you can always say no only because when you have a habit of listening no also. So we need to understand that whenever we work, we are part of a team whereby there are people who are engaged down our team and up our team. So when the only moment when we can say no is when we start listening no's and understanding no's from your juniors around you. So when we say that listening no is also not just the word listening, it is also understanding what is the reason for saying that no, right? So that's a way how we could be openness to our people in our team. When we're open in our team, people don't say no out of fear, yes out of fear. So they always know, okay, acha, going back to the senior would always give a practical solution to our approach. And if we understand what is a practical solution to our approach, that is how we can convince our seniors also, like what is the ways to say no. So an important example is like all the financial finance guys as started accountants. We always play a very key role in an organization. So there'll be 10 to 15 tasks which we would like to pick, our institute or our company would like to pick up for a year, and giving a priority to important 4 5 tasks is the most important thing, right? So when we give a priority to those tasks, I think the first way how we analyze those tasks is saying no to the tasks which we know will not work out. So if you see, when as an organization, finance plays a central role of an organization whereby people from sales, people from HR, people from marketing, people from operations will keep posting their expenses to you and say, okay, this is the most important expense, which would result into the growth and profitability of the next year. And at the same moment, as a finance guy, you are trying to analyze which is the most important thing, right? And you need to go and say no to the other thing. So just understand that people around you need to accept that you are a guy who's going to say no. When you create that acceptance with people, people know that, okay, if this is what is going to be no, then let me just summarize what I want things to be worked around. So probably you could always ask the marketing guy not giving you a budget hike, but a change of a way of working towards a marketing strategy, whereby he's giving you a saving also, or probably a marginal increase in the expense, but with a better outcome. So all of us has a centralized objective of achieving our profitability, and that is how I think we can achieve it. So Poonam, when we go forward, let's just take another example which has been put up by Madhvi. She talks about how effective prioritization contribute to better work-life balance for CAs. So when she talks about effective prioritization, she also wants to know that generally with CAs, long working hours is often a norm, which all of us carry that, okay, this is how we need to do. So how does that effective prioritization can contribute to a better work life? So as you talk about it, I would just add to it as like creating space for yourself, right?
Yeah.
That creating space for yourself is how you effectively contribute to your work-life balance, and that is how you prioritize to it. Yeah. So over to you, Poonam. How what you would like to add to this?
One thing that works very good is like when you have long working hours and the whole day demands a lot from you, creating a time in the early morning, like that maybe 5 to 7 or something kind of 2 hours early morning. That will going like that is going to be a game changer for you because in those initial hours you are working on your mindset. You are getting that time to release also so there is one practice like guided meditations and all you are doing for 10 minutes or 20 minutes. In that, they may be guiding you just to release everything which is you are holding. And because of those holding things in you makes you so heavy, you are, may not function on the your full potential. And somewhere in the long stretch of time you are working, you are not that much of productive, so you can take small breaks in those time and just give 4 minutes 5 minutes to let it go. That will help you a lot. And this prioritizing how it will help work in your work life balance. So uh, as we grow up like in the about the 30s plus age, we have family also, we have kids also, and we need to give time and attention to our family, our time, our kids. And in the early morning if we are able to give some like quality time, maybe 1 hour, it's not about the quantity of time like you are hold in a home but you are watching TV doing something and not engaging. But there can be 30 minutes 40 minutes heart to heart conversation that can grow your bond with your kids, with your family members. So those stretches of morning that will help you. uh, to overcome this. And once you have prioritized, you are effectively doing it, you will create a space, you will create time to spend more time with your family, and that is going to create a like other your social life, your family life better, and that will give you a peace. If you are not, you are not having good bonds in your family with your friends and all, somewhere that is also creating a maybe a irritation, frustration at work.
Yeah, Poonam. So on this question, I would always I would like to add something. Is when we talk about long working hours, there's another profession which is of a medical practitioner. So you
Yeah.
would see a doctor would start his day as morning 9 o'clock, and during the afternoon he's visiting some hospital, or probably he's taking a profession of teaching. And end of the day he's back to his clinic and he's trying to cover up end of his day. So it seems to be a very long working hour, and which I practically accept that they, yes, they do have a very long working hour. So one of the key ways how they break themselves from a long working hours is creating a break between those periods. So you would see a medical practitioner would not work between one of in the afternoon to two in the afternoon, and similarly 5 in the afternoon to 6 in the afternoon. So whereas it seems to be a very long stretch working period, he'll try to create a space for himself in that period. And when you talk about effective prioritization, we need to understand that the hour when they are not working is not that their team is not working. So their team at the same moment knows what is the priority for their senior at that moment. So exactly same as what with us also, we need to understand when are we creating that gap. When we are creating that gap, there's someone else who is filling up that gap for a moment, who is trying to take up the activities, list it down, and sort a priority for us, saying that, okay, as soon as we resume our work, we know this is the priority, which we can align with our personal priority and take the work ahead.
And also these kind of people, like I have friends, they create a mandatory holidays where they have to be free. So it is not by choice, it is by the mandatory they have to take, so they can unwind themselves. They have lot of free space in those 2 3 hours and 2 3 days kind of. And in that time also, there is not nobody will be attending, the other doctor, maybe the other colleague, the other team, they message like if I'm not available, please call on this number. So in that way also, we can create a space for ourselves, so that the work will not hamper, but I can take a break.
Yeah, Poonam. So we have few more questions. I think we'll continue with this session and then come back to our question.
Yeah. So this is quite of introspective question. Like, what would you focus on it if you believe you are enough? So, like, there is a one thing, uh, that's the concept. We keep thinking कि ये पर्सन मेरी लाइफ में होगा तो मैं ये कर पाऊंगा, आई नीड सम सपोर्ट सिस्टम इन माय लाइफ, आई दिस पर्सन हैव टू बी हियर एंड दिस एंड दिस आई नीड। अगर अगर वो फियर, आउट ऑफ द फियर, अगर मेरे क्लाइंट नहीं हुआ, ये नहीं हुआ, सो इफ यू आर थिंकिंग नो आई एम इनफ, आई हैव एवरीथिंग दैट इज डन, what you need to focus on, what you believe you will focus, your focus point will be what, and that's the most important part of your life. And life में we have lot of things to do, but if we focus what we truly want, that will add to our growth a lot. That thing may not be giving you monetary benefit, but that will make you a bigger person in your life. And the bigger person you are able to handle lot of things. There is one example, like I read that from a book, I don't remember. Say, like, if you are a person of scale of 1 to 10, you are a person of at the point of 3. You will be able to handle only those kind of work. You are keep upgrading yourself, you just keep upgrading yourself, and now you are the person of the capacity of 8. You will be able to handle more things in your life. So what scale you are, how bigger you as a person, and you think you are enough. Once you know that I am enough, even my team is not there, although you have to delegate your work, but same time you have that confidence in yourself. If my team is not there, I am enough. What the work I want to focus, it's not coming from the other people, it's not coming what the other people wants from you, totally from yourself. And if that you can focus, it will add lot of growth in your life. And in that way you will be prioritizing what you actually want to do in your life.
Yeah, Poonam. So I think what you said now has rightly answered what we have our next question also. This question is by Vikas Sharma, where he asks many young members and students feel pressure to say yes to every assignment to prove competency. So this is generally what happens in a practical life, that it's not for the matter of the revenue or the professional income what we receive. It's generally to prove our competency. We try to say yes to every work. So he's trying to understand how we can learn to prioritize assertively without guilt or fear of missing opportunities.
Yeah,
So I'll bring the question.
also there, that what people will think of me, what they will perceive, that fear we have. So lot of yes, we are saying just out of fear, and lot of fear are coming from the future. See, in the present moment, do we have any kind of fear in the present moment? No, all the fears comes from the future. फिर फ्यूचर में ऐसा होगा, लोग मेरे बारे में ऐसे सोचेंगे, फिर मुझे शायद ये काम नहीं ऑफर होगा, या ऐसे हो जाएगा, ये हो जाएगा. दिस ऑल कम्स, ऑल द फियर्स कम्स फ्रॉम द फ्यूचर ओनली. इन द प्रेजेंट टाइम यू डोंट हैव एनी फियर. So the more you lives in the present, by just keep assiding your future, okay, that future will create what you are doing, what the activities you are doing today, from that your future will be created. So right now what you want to prioritize, what you want to focus, and what other people thinks, this we need to like remove from our mind. What other people thinks and perceive, that doesn't define us, and that may create a temporary picture, maybe for few months, few days. But what actually I am, that is coming from the actions I am taking, and what the result I am producing. If a person is difficult also, matlab maybe the dealing, and that person is able to create a result, people want to work with that person कि okay थोड़ा सा ये एटीट्यूड रहेगा इस पर्सन का, बट दे पर्सन रिजल्ट क्रिएट कर सकता है. सो इफ यू आर दैट पर्सन हु कैन एड द वैल्यू, then people will work with you. And that value how you can add, then when you know that you are enough, you are enough, what you if, even that there is no support system, even if there is things are not in your favor, I will be able to this. So the more confidence you have in yourself, that is going to give you that confidence to say no.
Yeah, so Poonam, you have rightly summarized. I think because I will take this as an opportunity to just talk about the question what we have what you have raised. Like when we were also young chartered accountants, recently qualified, everybody thinks that you have read everything, right? So when you have read everything, you are currently updated with every task, with every knowledge, with every legal aspect, with every case laws, and that is the reason why people start posting you that question. Now, when people start posting you question, there's one thing which we need to understand is we also get to know where we need to go back and study. Like, for example, if someone would have put up a question into some direct taxation, and that is a very critical aspect, I would love to go back and read about it. Secondly, how to handle this pressure, I would give an example is when people would come to you with these questions, is you need to understand, are you an expert to answer on that question, right? You are a chartered accountant, you are qualified, you are already proved your competency. There's nobody in the world who can question your competency. So the first question which we need to ask ourselves is, am I an expert to handle this, or am I not an expert to handle this? Now with this question we also have an answer. Am I the one who needs to refer to an expert, or I need to directly make that client refer to that expert person, right? So, for example, there's a company's law related filing of the filing thing. You may be a statutory auditor for a company or a tax auditor for a company. You may refer yourself to a company secretary, or you may directly ask your client to refer to the company secretary and let them answer what questions they have been answering. So try asking yourself a question like who is an expert, and then saying that you need to refer to an expert or your client needs to refer to an expert is a way how we could decrease this pressure. And there's no question about our expertism. I think all of us have that expertism. Even if someone doubts it, I think a reading of 4 to 5 hours will make us again expert into that topic which has been asked to us. Yeah, so Poonam, with the question of Vikas, we have a next question which has been posted by Ravi, and he's asking from a leadership perspective, how can a senior CAs and partners promote a culture of healthy prioritization within teams to to support sustainable work-life balance? So a very practical question, like generally when we are working, we have always looked on to our seniors, like how they have been get delegating work to us, and that is the way we have been. Delegating works to our juniors also. So, from a leadership point of view, how can a CA and a partner promote a culture of healthy work-life balance with a prioritization?
So first thing, I think if they are believing in work-life balance and they themselves are doing this, then they will be easy to accept from the juniors also, because somewhere we have that mindset that we have to work. Like when I was about to start my practice, and one of I discussed with one of senior, and they said, "Kiri, 14 hours you have to practice," and that is actually our in the initial years our practice, or you are learning something like in the last question he asked the new CAs, because we have to learn everything is like new to us, every assignment is new to us, we have to put more hours, we have to put more efforts to learn. So in the initial year it may take more hours at the work, but at the similar time there is one adaptability. Okay, we may have to work for the longer time, but not every year. Like for the whole year we have to work, maybe 2 3 years, and in those 2 3 years also maybe the few months we have some months where we need not to put that much of efforts, we have some free time. So that adaptability, if we as a senior have that, okay, this is a free time, we can give our juniors a space to do something, to have some learning times. If uh, that can include they want to follow any kind of hobby, they want to do something which maybe reading a book or something. So that space if we are able to create, and as we discussed, we the seniors are able to accept the no also. Okay, this is something need not to be done, or if the juniors are suggesting something that sir ये नहीं करते हैं, तो we have that adaptability कि, okay, so you tell me the better way how this can be done, how the technology can be used, okay, how we can do this in the better way. You have that much openness. There is no that rigidness, no this is the only way things can be done. We have 10 other ways to do the things, and ultimately we are looking for the value we are adding to the clients, how the work is getting done. If we are not chasing the 10 hours or the 10 a.m. login also, that you should be at the 10 a.m. If somebody is coming maybe at the 10 15 minutes late, and they are able to give the value, if they are able to generate more productive things, so then that much chasing of the time may not be needed. So if we are open for those things, there will be a difference.
Right. So, Poonam, just summarizing what you have said, and I think answering to Ravi. Ravi, one of the most important thing as a leader, what we need to do is spend some time with your team. And when we say spend some time with your team, is not when we are actually working also, it is after the office time also. And one of the best way how you can spend your time with your team is taking them for a lunch or a dinner on the very next day when you had a deadline. So when you have achieved your deadlines, the very next day you take them for a lunch or an outing, and that is the time when you start understanding what is the key skills of every individual who's there in your team. With that, you will be able to prioritize which work is to be given to which person. So I think spending some time with your team will always help you to list down the priorities for yourself and for your team also. Yeah, Poonam. So we'll continue with this session. We have few more questions coming up, so we'll get back to them after the next slide.
Yeah, so as I want to discuss here, that every phase of life we have different kind of priorities, and whether the priorities are changing, whether our priorities are evolving. Maybe our 20s, when we are single, we have all the time to devote our career, our growth, and that we should be then our priority will be putting more hours to our work and in our growth. As we are coming to the married phase, we have kids, so our priority change. We have to proportionate our time between our work and our family life and these things. As we grow more, then we have, and in that phase of life when our kids are growing, uh, and at the career level also we are hustling, that becomes very crucial phase. It's both are demanding the time, like for if I can say, in this phase of life, my child is growing, my practice is also in the developing phase, and as a person also I'm just learning new things. So I am at a crucial point where I need to devote my time at the multiple thing. When the kids grown up, they don't need your time that much after certain age, so then your priority will change. You may not have to devote that much time in your kid. Your practice may also flourish more. You have more, you have delegated lot of tasks. So your priorities every phase of life keep changing, and we have to keep evolving also in our this now. This can be done by the other person. What are my priorities now? So we are adaptable in changing our priorities, and that will make a lot of difference in our life.
Yeah, right, Poonam. I think with being a chartered accountant, you are blessed to have opportunities. You are blessed to have different options, and assessing yourself at different stages of life, like what you need to prioritize, will help us to attain a work-life balance, and also see what how we can plan our future accordingly. Yeah, rightly said.
Yeah. So we can take up more questions.
Yeah, Poonam. So the next question is by Ravinder Mishra, and he talks about how can young chartered accountants develop prioritization skills early in their career to ensure long-term professional stability. So the question is majorly around the young chartered accountants, like how they can prioritize, how they can develop prioritization skills. So I think we can mention about the current era's AI models, which will help us to develop this.
Yes, yes. The more technology, because at a young age you have more adaptability, more hunger to learn new things. So at that time, the more you are adapting technology, learning technology, and the more I'm interacting with the young generation, with the newly qualified CAs, I keep interacting. There is a lot of things. They are not their own. They are carrying lot of things because the colleagues are doing, their friends are doing, because other people are doing, and they are affected by the social media things, that on the social media somebody is posting this. So at the young age, after the certain age, 30, 35, we are not that much affected. We understand the life more, and we are able to know whether we should be doing this or not. But maybe between the 20 to age of 28 to 30, we are a lot of affected by the people around us, the social media things. So finding your own vibe, your own path, and maybe that not be aligning with the friends are doing, the family persons are doing, and you have to be that much enough, and that much holding in yourself कि okay, if I'm not matching with it, that the FOMO you don't have कि अगर मैंने नहीं किया, I'm missing out something. No, if someone's career path is different, they have to put more efforts, they have to put more working hours. अभी अब किसी भी entrepreneur जो successful हैं, if you listen their interview or something, so they say कि my 20s were the time जहाँ पे मैंने बहुत efforts put किए हैं, I was working continuously and all. So that at the young age, what is your choice, what you want to pursue, finding that and sticking to that, that is very much important. You just stick, you just don't keep changing your priority, your goals, because your friends are doing something. So
Yeah,
that
right. So I think one of the other answer to Ravindra's question is having a belief on yourself. So when Ravindra is rightly questioned about the long-term professional sustainability. So as we understand, in a long-term basis, chartered accountants are very, very successful. And when I say successful in the terms of their learnings and their financial capabilities. And one of the reason to all this is because you have been putting a lot of effort at a very young age. So at that young age, when we made a choice that we are going to take up this course, we need to understand the course. With the course, the struggle will be there throughout our life. So there's no alternate to the struggle or to the hard work which will be there for us. And with that, we always need to know that we need to believe on ourselves. So with that hard work and with that belief, we can always see to it that we know how to create those skills and achieve a long-term goal for us. Yeah, Poonam. So Poonam, with that, we have another question by Ajit Sharma, and he's wanting to know that how someone can decide about his or her financial limits, means how much is enough. So a key question which everybody has at different stages of life. Probably at 30s you have a question that how much is enough. At 40s you have a question how much is enough, and at 50s you have a question at how much is enough. And I think at all these three stages, the graph moves completely up and down. At 30, you think a small amount is also enough because you have come out of those articleship days where a small amount of stipend is also enough for you, and getting a zero added to your stipend as a salary, or probably a two zeros added to your salary, makes you feel that is enough. And as soon as you cross your 30s, you find that is not enough. And as soon as you come to your 50s, you find a chetty that's how that whatever we have done is enough, and now we can sustain it with it. So he's saying, how can someone decide about his or her financial limits? So if you could talk about financial limits, how someone can define it for himself, and how what ways he can achieve those limits.
On this only, I was reading 2 days back a book on the money, and there is a quote that whether money is taking out more from you or you are taking out from money. So there are four people. There are some people from their life. Money takes out a lot. Money takes their time. Money takes their efforts, their relationships. They take a lot, and that money is deposited somewhere, not utilized, just saving it, creating the wealth. So money has taken a lot of out of them, but they are not able to take out of from the money. So you are taking out from the money when you are using money for yourself, for the life you want to live, for your lifestyle, if you are that using. So you need to decide whether the money is taking out from you or you are taking out from the money. That is one thing. And another thing, I have done a course on the well-being, happiness. Then there is saying money is necessary until when it is meeting your needs. After at one point of time, money is not adding much in your life. It is adding to your happiness, because ultimately our goal is to be happy. If you ask someone what is your goal, what do you want, they're like, I wanted to be happy. That is our ultimate goal. So if we want to be happy, how money is adding in our life, that we need to understand. So if I'm living in a home where there is no roof, if the rain is coming, I'm getting wet, I don't have much to eat, my necessities are not made, I'm not able to fulfill my financial responsibility toward family, and I say money doesn't add anything in life, then it is a foolishness, because money adds a lot at that point of time when money is providing your food, your roof, your clothes, your necessities, money is adding. And then comes a state to the luxury. So then the luxury money is meeting, that will add happiness, but it that happiness will remain only for maybe temporary. So whatever you want iPhone, you want MacBook, you want a BMW, it will add happiness in your life maybe for 10 days, 20 days, 30 days, and your graph towards the happiness will fall. Once achieving that thing, you are saying, okay, that is not much adding in my life, because I'm becoming the used to of it. Till the time I was traveling from the scooty, a car is something which I like, कि car आएगी तो ऐसे होगा ये होगा, but I'm using the I got the car, I'm using it, and it's become a regular thing now. It is not adding much in my life, because it is something is regular. So that you have to find out how much it is adding in my life. So there is everyone's criteria of life, what they want, and what is your needs, and whether that has been met, or you have made some kind of investment. Okay, this is something will be fulfilled. After that, everything is just a addition, that will be in your bank account. So I have not experienced that yet, but I just heard from the people who have like got the millions or something, that like, this is not adding much in my life. This is just in my accounts, in this maybe in the form of investment or something, but मेरी लाइफ में उससे कुछ बहुत चेंज नहीं हो रहा. दिस जस्ट होल्ड कि हाँ मेरा ये एक घर है, ये भी है, ये भी है, ये भी है, बट उससे उनकी लाइफ में कुछ बहुत ज़्यादा इफेक्ट नहीं हो रहा है. सो दैट यू हैव टू फाइंड आउट कि आपकी नीड्स जो हैं वो मीट हो रही हैं, एंड द लॉन्गर पीरियड ऑफ टाइम भी आपकी जो नीड्स हैं वो मीट होंगी. आपको जब अगर नीड्स नहीं मीट हो रही है तो मनी बहुत 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 इंपॉर्टेंट है आपकी लाइफ के लिए.
Right. So, Poonam, you have rightly answered that question. Ajit, just to add on to this, what Poonam said is everything. I mean, you always have enough for your needs, which is rightly which everybody of us know about it, and there's never enough for our luxuries. So probably that's a statement which everybody makes. I would take one example, like how do you decide between what is your need and what is a luxury? I mean, that's the difficult question. What people actually land up in between, like traveling by a bus is a necessity, is a need, or a luxury. So I would just say one of the ways to understand what is your necessity and what is your luxury is to have a hobby. So I'll take my example. When I travel, I get to know about different cities. I get to know what is a necessity for other people, what would be a luxury for other people. So both of these things helps me to decide what is a necessity for myself and what is a luxury for myself. So I think you when you go back to your hobby, that hobby tells you, like for example, you love to play a badminton. So probably having a group of people to play badminton is a necessity for you, right? And then having a different number of matches is a luxury for you. So probably a weekend you might land up playing some 6 to 7 matches also, which is a luxury. And during weekdays, struggling for a partner to play match also is a necessity for you. So I think pursuing your hobby is good way to understand what is your limit, and that is how you can relate those with your financial limits also. So Poonam, with this we have another question which has been posted by Shweta Sharma. She's asking, can prioritization be a tool for ethical and balanced professional practice in an increasing demanding regulatory environment? Right. So there's a lot of regulatory requirement which is shaping up the future of chartered accountants. And can prioritization help us to balance the professional practice in this way?
Yes, definitely. Yeah, if we say from this point of view, from the ethical point of view, we are prioritizing what we want from for our life, how much risk we want to take in our life, and what kind of work we want to do. All these are coming from the prioritization only. If someone I say like the clients is coming, you are choosing whether I want to work with this person, whether I want to take that much of risk in my career. Everything is coming, that is your choice. Anything we are doing in our life, that is doing out of your choice, and that choice is prioritizing, that is making a priority. So like you are saying, there is a lot of compliances are there, a lot of ethics are there, you have to prioritize कि दिस क्लाइंट इज रिस्की, ये इसके काम में गलतियां हैं. अब वहां पर ये भी प्रायोरिटाइज करना है, इसको हमें क्वालिफाइड करना है, इसको हमें अनक्वालिफाइड करना है. ये एंड इफ द क्लाइंट इज नॉट एग्रीइंग ऑन योर अनक्वालिफाइड ऑन योर क्वालिफाइड रिपोर्ट, यू हैव टू चूज वेदर यू वांट टू वर्क विद दैट पर्सन और नॉट. if somebody is coming in the last moment and that is not meeting with your ethics, because you are not getting enough time to check everything, you are not getting enough time to do your work, then you have to prioritize whether you want to take that work, whether you want to take that assignment. That everything is coming from the priority only.
Yeah, so Poonam rightly said. I think another example could be when we go for an audit. So when we go for an audit, generally we fix a priority saying that this is a task which I am going to do. This is a task which my teammates, my person who's working with me, or people who have an article to us which who are going to work on it. So that prioritizing things. Okay, like the first visit which I make to which I make to a client, I give him a priority list that this is my requirement.
Yeah.
And in that requirement, you fix in your articles or you fix in your staff members saying, okay, this is what you need to take up. And with them coming back to you as a summary, okay, this is what has happened till date, and then that's how you can have a productive discussion with your client. So I think rightly said by Shweta that prioritizing is one of those tools which help us to balance our professional practice. Yeah. So Poonam, with that, we have another question. I think we can just take up the session for, we can go ahead with slides and then we'll come back to this question.
Yeah, so this slide we have taken, and then through this slide, I want to talk like the limiting beliefs around the work and pressure. We have created this maybe because we like in the starting of the session we discussed beliefs we created, what we have seen when we are working in a office during our articleship, and all lot of beliefs we carries about the profession from our principal's office कि working इस तरीके से ही होती है. और many times what happens, we follow the same practice area also in which we have done the articleship, because our belief formed in that way only. So we carry lot of limiting belief at the personal level, at the professional level, that being busy means I'm successful. I'm into running, and that is something I have, like that gives me peace. If I'm working 10 hours, 12 hours a day, a 20 or 30 minutes run makes me feel good instead of tired. If I'm very much tired after the work, I'm just like I'm going for a quick 20 minutes run and I will feel better, and then I will do anything else. But what others perceive it like कि तू ट्रेनर बन गई क्या, फिजिकल, लाइक आई गॉट अ कॉल माय रिलेटिव कि यू आर अ फिजिकल ट्रेनर क्या, तुम्हारे दौड़ने के बहुत हम देखते हैं, या ये स्टेटस देखा था. सो इट डजंट मीन कि मैं पूरे टाइम में सिर्फ ऑफिस में ही बैठी हूँ देन आई एम सक्सेसफुल, और इफ आई एम डूइंग अ रनिंग इट मीन्स कि मैं कुछ प्रोफेशन से अलग कर रही हूँ, काइंड ऑफ थिंग. सो हम लोग का ऐसे माइंडसेट बन गया है कि इफ समवन इज प्रोफेशनल, वो यही काम करेगा, पूरे टाइम बिजी है अपने फाइल्स 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 के साथ में, देन दैट पर्सन इज सक्सेसफुल. एंड इफ आई स्लो डाउन तो मैं पीछे हो जाऊंगी, लोग आगे निकल जाएंगे. बट इसका भी मनीष जी आप देखेंगे कि लाइफ में ऐसा कोई पैरामीटर्स नहीं है आगे और पीछे का. एवरी फेज ऑफ लाइफ, कभी कोई अच्छा कर रहा है, कभी कोई किसी लाइफ फेज ऑफ लाइफ में ज़्यादा अच्छा करता है. सो वो क्राइटेरिया जो हमने एक सर्टेन शायद अपने सुने होते हैं अपब्रिंगिंग एंड ऑल में, एंड वो कुछ भी गलत नहीं होता है, क्योंकि उन लोगों ने भी वही अपनी अपब्रिंगिंग में सुने हो रहते हैं. सो वी जस्ट कीप फॉरवर्डिंग टू द नेक्स्ट जनरेशन, नेक्स्ट जनरेशन, नेक्स्ट जनरेशन द सेम काइंड ऑफ कॉन्सेप्ट कि एवरीथिंग इज इम्पॉर्टेंट, इस ये भी करना है, ये भी करना है, बट कुछ चीज़ों को हम छोड़ सकते हैं. सो दी मल्टीटास्किंग इज द ओनली वे टू सर्वाइव. सो दिस काइंड ऑफ बिलीव्स बहुत सारे हो सकते हैं इसमें से, एंड हर कोई अलग अलग तरीके से उसको कैरी फॉरवर्ड कर रहा है. बट वी नीड टू डिसाइड दैट अ बिलीफ इज अ पावरफुल, not because it is true but because we believe in that. Whatever you believe कि ये सच होता है, this is like that only, and that belief until it is broken, it will keep uh, make you work in that way only. So I'm coming from a small town. After 6 p.m. or something, बाहर निकलना मेरे लिए कैसे था कि कभी तो लाइफ में एक्सपीरियंस ही नहीं किया था. एंड वी हैव दैट बिलीफ सिस्टम कि सनसेट तक तो घर पहुंचना ही है, काइंड ऑफ थिंग. सो दैट बिलीफ क्रिएटेड, like I lost lot of I may lost lot of opportunities because of that belief system, that I'm not safe after that hour of time. And I came to Mumbai, and first I traveled around 11 p.m. or something, and I found out कि this is so much safe. I can travel, I can do work. And during my election period, I traveled like a whole night with my driver alone on the highways or something, and that belief broken. After that, my that belief broken, and that if that belief is broken, now I'm more free, I'm more liberated. I can work in other hours also, odd hours also, and I can take up lot of things which I'm not taking up earlier. That is breaking my that mindset, that belief, and your belief will be broken only you experience something else which you believe to be true. So in that way,
Right.
uh,
No, I think that's one of the good examples which we take up on our everyday life. So I think you have shared a very good example. how we people try to break their own beliefs, and that with new experiences you make a new belief.
Yes,
Right.
yes, yes. And so in that way, we can experience something. You can write, you can ask question. There is a practice. If somebody wants to do on their belief system, you can look into mirror to yourself and ask what you believe in this area of life, what you believe in this area of life, and you can just keep writing whatever coming in your mind, and then you can check on those beliefs whether these are the empowering belief or these are which are becoming a challenge in your life. Maybe few are the belief system which are uh, becoming a break, or they are slowing you down. You just uh, do an analysis, and then try to you can take help of someone, or you yourself can try to break those beliefs. And if you are able to do those, you will be able to do so many more things in your life which you may be avoiding without knowing it, that I am avoiding these kind of things. So some people they think they don't know cycling, and they are like कि अभी तो cycling नहीं सीख सकते, I'm 30 or something. If somebody thinks I'm not able to learn swimming in my childhood or something, and they think it is now difficult. I learned swimming 6 months back only. Until then, I was very much fearful of water, and I was thinking it's very difficult and something. And then with my daughter, I registered myself, and I got actually, I found it difficult to learn at this age, because at the younger age we are more open to learn nothing. But ultimately, after facing that fear of water, I'm able to learn this. So, more belief we want to break, our life will be more richer and with more experiences. And here, by whatever we are saying, by reframing those sentences, we will be able to make more positive them, like the impact is created not by the busyness but the success you have. So that is not defined only by the busyness, that the impact you are creating. Rest is what slow allows me to complete things better. It's not that you are running whole day, then only you can do everything in the better way. Few things matters most, and let me find out what are those things which matters most to me. Focused attention creates better result in less time. Clear boundaries builds respect and sustainability. Somewhere we say we feel that saying no may impact our image, but the people who have clear boundaries, we respect them more. That is a human psychology. If you see that person is very clear about their time, we respect that person's time more.
Right, and I think that's how people with all the good achievements, with key achievements, have been that they have been able to create those belief with themselves. They carry that belief with them, and that's how we have been respecting them so much.
Yeah.
So, friends, with this, I would also take up an example. Have you seen some of your business leader who have been doing what they have been doing from last so many years? Is because they have clearly defined their boundaries for themselves. So they know what, as a chartered accountant, there are a lot of opportunities which we have, and there's one key thing which we take up as saying, okay, this is what we are going to take up in future, and this is what is going to be an expert. And this is what we are going to expertise. So subject matter expert is a keyword which defines everybody, and that's how they keep achieving what they want to achieve in their life. Now, with this, they have also been able to create time for themselves. So when you say when they have been achieving those goals, also they have been keeping a space for themselves, whereby they have been creating time for themselves. And today also, when they have had those achievements, still they have time for themselves. So creating a time for yourself will also create a space for yourself. Yeah, Poonam. So we can go forward with the next slide.
Yeah. So here, most of the things I think we have already discussed. Like before any task, anything coming to you, ask whether it is just important or urgent. So before the session only, I received a call from one member, and they may be asking some query, and I cut the call, and I dropped a message that I have a session in 30 minutes. Can we talk after the session? And I received a message, no, it is a little bit urgent, Poonam, and can we connect just for 2 minutes only? So that the whole priority changed, because the things he's saying is urgent, and she just need 2 minutes of me. So then I changed. I got a call from my mother. I said, I have a session. Can I call after the session? She is okay, okay, we can talk. So that was not important, and that can be shifted to the evening. and we shifted it to. So then this way we have to decide whether this is important or urgent. Does this align with the current role and goals? If not, we can shift it to the future or maybe the evening. So if I'm sitting in my office and I received a call maybe from the friends, and they want to discuss about something which may be worrying them, which may be uh, disturbing them, and I can discuss with that person is important to me. I want to genuinely attend that call, listen to but I can ask, see, can we discuss in the evening while I'm going for my walk and while I'm traveling, or like I can accommodate that call during the hours where I'm doing something which is not that my for taking my focus or something, like I'm traveling to my gym or from work to. Can we discuss? And if that person is understanding, say saying ki, yeah, yeah, definitely we can take. So we can right away schedule that call to that time, which is not that focus requiring time. In that way we are prioritizing and doing a time management also at the same time, where you are able to fulfill your social responsibility towards your friend, and also you are not uh, disrespecting your work. So I always say to everyone, if you're not in your office hours, whatever the time you are giving, 10 to 6, 10 to 7, and you are doing something else which is not aligning to your career goal, to your work, somewhere you are disrespecting your work. And if you are not respecting your work, how that work will respect you? Similarly comes with the money, similarly comes with everything. How much you give respect, how much you prioritize in your life, you will get the result according to that only. So we all become chartered accountant because at that age, at that time, we prioritize our studies more anything and everything. So that's why we are able to clear our exams. Maybe some of our friends who may not have given that much respect to their studies, they was not able to clear the exam. So it's all about the priorities, it's all about the respect you are giving to your current task. And what will I need to say no to if we say yes? So this I think we have discussed whether we want to say no or yes. And this prioritization is also about the boundaries. So saying no respectfully protects your time, your health, your also your efficiency or happiness, and you becomes a better balanced professional. Many times what happened, we have done something because another person wants, and after so you wasted your time in doing something which you don't want to do, maybe the 1 hour, and then 1 hour or maybe more than you will be cribbing about that मैंने ऐसे किया, मुझे तो करना ही नहीं था, ये हो गया वो हो गया. After that also you are not content or happy. So what's the point in doing that which you are making, which with the thing you are putting your time, and then you are not happy, you are just miserable out of that thing. So better to say no. You will feel bad for some time, and there may be a person who actually not genuinely with you. Because if someone is genuinely with you, they think about your well-being, they think about your happiness, about your peace. Somebody out of their own need, their own things, they want to do you something. So better to say no to that person, to those things. And if that person is leaving your life, it is not going to impact your life in the bad way or something. You will be more peaceful also in that situation.
Yeah, Poonam, so I'll just take an example which we usually take it in a very joking manner is like how we say no to our spouses, right? So that's one way how we have to learn also. Whenever your spouse comes up with any of the important tasks, we know it is important also, it's urgent also, it needs to prioritize, right? And that's how we start learning no also, right? So in a very professional manner, if you see, a way to learn is how you spend your time with your partner and you understand how to say no to them, and that's how you start giving time to yourself. So the only reason you say no to them is not because you don't have time, because that is not your priority. So maybe if we take a learning from here, this is one way which we can exercise on a daily basis and understand like how we can say no to people, right?
Yes. And should I go with the slide?
Yeah, Poonam, so we have one question, probably you can take it after this slide, which talks about which speech to text app you were using for writing this your books. Yeah, so probably after this slide, we'll get back to that question.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So this is talking about the self-awareness, because everyone's productive hours is different. Everyone's personal limits are different. Our journey, our what we want from life, like what Manish you want from life, what I want from life, that can be totally different, and only we can understand that. So having that self awareness, what works for me that will not work for you, and what works for you will not work for me. For some people the morning times work well, for some the even late evenings work well. So understanding and having that self awareness, that what is working for me, what are my productive hours, and there is nothing kind of saying this is the perfect thing to be done. So for everyone that can differ, and accepting that, making your plans, your things according to your productive hours. Like for me the early mornings works very well, very well. I'm very able to do all my things, plan my day, do my meditation, my stretches, and going for a run and all. So that adds a lot of value in my life, and my productive hours also mostly in the morning. So you can, with the self awareness, you can understand that and make plan according to that only.
Yeah, Poonam. So with this, I'll take an example for myself. As I said, I have been working for a supply chain organization. So, as a self-awareness, I'll say is what I love to do is travel. You know, like people would love to spend vacations at some places, and that's what we call as destiny. Like people plan how to reach that location. And I would say that when I travel, I would have crossed those locations multiple times, and I would have seen that moment with different point of views, with which a common man sees to it. So that self-awareness is to me. So end of the year when people say, "Acha, what have you got in the year?" What I actually see is what new thing which I've witnessed in this year, right? So probably when I go to a different city, uh, what I would do is I would also go out for trekking also. So maybe that's what I do when I'm in my base city. But when I go to a different city, I would take trekking as a different way to relieve myself, relieve my stress out of my job. Second thing in self-awareness I would talk about is what is there for me is looking at the sunset. So every city you see sunset is one of the best moments. So I do not witness a sunrise because I may not be an early beginner, but sunset is that time which you could just pause in that particular city, and you will see the sky will frame everything for you, right? So you'll have a different view, and that's the way I have a self-awareness and saying, "Acha, my day has taken a pause. Now, with this pause, what I wanted to achieve, have I achieved it? Or I need to work towards it at the balance of my day, or probably keep it posted for my next day." So I think the very key thing which you talked about was self-awareness. Is this is one way how we can always have a with which we can achieve our financial stability also. People generally correlate both the things, like what is financial stability and what is your work-life balance. So I would say work-life balance is a separate set of activity which is done for yourself. And one of the way to understand that is self-awareness.
Yeah, true, true, true.
Yeah, Uno, we can move on with the next slide.
The slide is about to end. So, like, what we are prioritizing today is making our future. So, whatever you are putting in your day, the actions you are actually taking, that will just going to change. We know lot of things like about the fitness. Everyone knows we should eat healthy, 10,000 steps a day, this. But until we are not taking actions, your body will remain the same. So the same idea, I think, in the every area of life, we might be knowing lot of things, until it is not coming into the action, that is not going to make any change. So prioritize your day in that way. What you are want from your life, you are taking more actions for it. So with that, my slide is also ending.
Yeah, Poonam. So I think with the ending of the slides and the session, I would request viewers to put up some questions. And I was particularly looking for a question whereby we could just say no, okay, we don't want to answer this question, and that would be a practical learning which we have been going through this session. So Poonam, you have summarized all of them very, very well. It's been an honor here today at this platform to witness what you have been talking about. So I will just summarize things for people, the viewers. Parallel, you can keep posting your questions. So what Poonam has summarized today is prioritizing your things. So as a CA, you have always had privilege of having different choices, and with choices, you need to have a key question of saying why. So when you answer that key question of saying why, you always have an answer to what we have to prioritize. And with that, you also need to be with people who does not frame your ceiling. So you need to always have be in a good company of people who would say, okay, this is not your ceiling. You can always come out of this ceiling. And truly, I would say, as a chartered accountant, you have a privilege because you are one of those member of the society whereby people will always come down to you and share their experiences. With more experiences, there are more examples which says how you can break your ceiling. So that's one of the way, with breaking your ceiling, you try to create an opportunity for yourself. Then the key slide was controlling your day. A lot of people miss this, like how we can control our day. If you ask me how I control my days, I try to keep every day free for myself. So when I keep a day free for myself, I know that every day morning from 9 to 11 is something which I'll have a balance work, which I know is going to be there. After 11, I keep free for myself. So when I keep free for myself, I know every day there's a new issue which is going to come to me. The amount of time I need to dedicate to that issue. So, for example, at 11 o'clock, I start picking up things which is there, which I've planned for that day. Take a break at 1 or 2 and understand if this task has been done, or probably I need to give more part of my day to it, and or another day for it. Believe me, uh, by breaking day, it doesn't mean that I'm not occupied. And I think with every one of us, we are completely occupied from morning to 9 to evening 9. It's just that how you satisfy yourself, what goal you have been trying to take for yourself for the day, for your year, and for your life is what you break, and you start analyzing yourself. So controlling your day is one of those important tasks. Then the pressure, like how you are being carried away with the pressure. Uh, we always need to understand what we are and what we want to be. When we say what we are, we try to create that environment around us. And what we want to be is when we try to enter environment which helps us to what we want to make up. Then another aspect which Poonam rightly carried up was having a calendar priority. Just few years back, people would have their diaries, people would write on their calendars, and with digital era, we have started writing tasks on our mobiles or probably putting up things on a calendar. That's always a good way. But I still believe that having those key tasks or vision for your life, or having key tasks of your year is what you write on your practical calendar. Pick up paper calendar and just write it on it so that you don't read it always, but you read it over a period of time. So like every month, and you go and read back to thoughts what you've had and what you have achieved and what you'll be trying to achieve over a period of time. Then we rightly talked about what is critical and what is urgent, and how we can manage this with the provisions of delegations. With delegation, we also need to understand, more important is inclusive approach. Like we need to include more people into our task. That's the only way how we can delegate our tasks. With more people approach, we know which person is having a caliber to take up that task. With that caliber, he defines which work has to be delegated to him. So that's one of the way how you decide between what is critical and what is urgent. Rightly said, learning to say no and accepting to say no. So the key words I think for the today's session would be the word no. So we need to understand that we not just have to learn how to say no, we also have to learn how to accept a no from people around us. Then Poonam rightly said, creating a time for yourself in the morning hours. So morning hours are something which is completely dedicated to you in a personal manner. Nobody calls you in that early morning until unless it is very urgent. And that morning hours is how you define your day. Usually in that early 2 hours of your day, you have been able to define what you're going to do on that day. Probably meeting someone, probably attending an important assessment cases. That morning 2 hours is very important for an individual, whereby he knows how he has to shape his day, how he has to shape himself. Then with that, Poonam also put a stress on the saying that assessing yourself to a scale of 1 to 10. I think that's one of the key ways of analyzing yourself. Generally with the CA profession, people don't come and give you feedbacks. People believe that you know better, or probably people don't dare to reach to your desk and say, "Acha, you have been missing on these things." But with that, we always have an issue that we are not being able to define what we are going to do, right? So when we start assessing ourselves on a scale of 1 to 10, we always know where we were, where we are, and where we are going to be. And if this could be added on with the feedback from your teammates, which just give you a rating on a scale of 1 on 10, that will be one way how you'll be able to prioritize work for yourself and for your teammates also. Then Poonam rightly mentioned about that every stage of life we need to assess our priority. With every stage of our life, our priorities actually change, and with that change of stage, we need to know what is our major priority. So maybe at a age when we were doing articleship, I think having few thousands was more than enough, because my parents were actually funding everything. So I would just say that I don't need it, right? So I can sponsor my own program with my own money. So at that stage, that was my priority. And then over a period of time, when I changed to a different stage of life, which I would say is like with the 3 or 5 years of experience, it was the pressure was always like buying a house, or defer buying a house. So probably, a lot of people believe that buying a house is important. There are a lot of people who says no, deferring it because you want to achieve something else. I learned this from my parents itself. I mean, they deferred this choice of buying a house at a young age, and I think that is the moment they were investing into me. I mean, me as an individual, because they thought that yes, that's how the future for the family is going to be, and a very right choice. And I think when we all also go back and look to our parents, I think that's what the right thing what they have done is having prioritizing and investing on their own kids. So we need to learn that we need to invest into our own kids also. So at different stages of life we need to assess what is our priority. One of the key things which came out of our question was having a differentiation between necessity and luxury. And necessity and luxury could be differ for people to people, but I think necessity is almost same for 99 people, 99% of people for us. So understanding a key difference of necessity and luxury. One of Another example which I would like to take from this session is a newly qualified chartered accountant moving to a new city. So when he moves to a new city, having a house, which Poonam said, is a necessity. And probably when you're 20, 30 years old and you have stayed in that city for 5 to 6 years, buying house in which area becomes a luxury to you. So you clearly define what is your necessity and what is your luxury. Then with the question, we also had another point which has come up as like prioritizing is a tool to balance our profession. So yes, as we keep prioritizing, we also know how we can balance our profession. With those questions, we also had another aspect saying that delegation is another key tool. So keep delegating things. With delegations, you will be able to have a better work-life balance. Poonam also raised the point that being busy does not mean you're successful. A lot of people live with this myth that if they're busy, they are successful. So with the same books of accounts, you can entire day you can spend accounting for it, and with the same books of account, you can just prepare a summary and understand what the crunch is all about and talk about it. One of the important thing which Poonam also said was slowing down does not mean falling behind. So with for this, you should just go back and look to people around you. I think in my personal capacity, all those people who started career with me are not here with me as of now. When we were doing some CA classes, there were 200 students which were sitting together. And with today, when I see, I think we are just 4 or 5 of us which are connected today. But sometime over a period of time on a social media, you see one of your friends of those 200 batches that they slow down with their profession. But that does not mean they were not successful. I have always got those examples whereby my friends and all those people who have been around me have been successful in doing what they wanted to do. So, practical examples could be a few of my friends who have taken their professions, who have left their professions of CAs and pursued to different goals, and they have been doing it very successfully. I've been just reading about a news editor, and I think the moment he said I was a chartered accountant, and hence I would just keep pointing out things which has been doing wrong in those tasks. And the moment he said that, I said, yes, a CA has got all this possibility. With CA, you have the possibility to achieve the sky. And with the course what we have qualified, I think we know our possibilities. And you need to understand that slowing down after that does not mean that you're falling back. Then uh, belief is one of those powerful things, because uh, belief is powerful not because it is true, but because it is what we believe. So that's right, because everything which is true does not mean that it has to be powerful. We need to believe on what we want to do. Then having a rest allows you to complete things better, right? So keeping a pause, taking a pause in between things will help you to complete the sessions in between. Poonam also mentioned about what is important, what is urgent, then what boundaries are not our priorities, learning to say no, and having a self-awareness. So, friends, with this session, I would also take up an example. If you would have gone through the PPT of what Poonam has presented, it is very, very simplified, you know. And so, with this, she had prioritized what she wants to talk about, and entire preparation was all around what she wants to talk about, and the entire prioritization was all about what she wants to talk about and not about preparing presentations. So a very good presentation with no good talk does not help you, and a very simplified presentation which people can read and with a very good talk is what people actually listen. So I think Poonam has achieved that task very, very well, and she has actually done that very, very well. So Poonam, I would just request you to say something as a summary, and then probably I'll conclude after that. So, and you can always take that question which we had, like which tool did you use for speech to text for writing a book? So you can just mention about your book and which tool did you use about for that. Yeah, Poonam, you're on mute. You can unmute yourself.
Yeah, sorry. So this is actually in the MacBook. I have this feature of speech to word, and it recognizes very well. Once it knows my voice, it recognizes very well and writes in a good way. So all my making my PPTs, my book writing or something, I use this only.
Okay, great. So I think all of our smartphones have got that tools,
That also.
and yeah, we need to go back and just look into the tool which suits us. So what tool
I
was?
think.
Yeah.
Sorry to interrupt. I think Google document also have this tool.
Right, right. So that's right. What tool was best for you may not be the best for someone else. Also, so people need to figure out what is best for them, and at what stage with which they can use them. So guys, just to summarize the session, it was an honor to be here on this platform as we step into 2026. 2026. It's a new year, filled with new opportunities, with new innovations and progress. Uh, After this session today, I would request everyone to just take a break for that 10 minutes, go back and just write on the walls of your cabins, or probably on your tables, or wherever you think is the right place, which would tell what you fix up your goals for the year. And just understand that when you do that, you're not doing it as an individual capacity. When we do that, we are doing it as an overall community, as an overall profession, because as a country, we have been going through a very unique moments that we all of us are young. It's an ambitions which we have. Then with all this, we have another era of digital era, which is pushing every one of us to achieve what we want to do. So we can all gather together on this platform and then just play a key role into driving these innovations, then embracing these changes and contribute to a better future. Uh, so as we all gather to discuss ideas to share knowledge, let us remember that the action which we take today will shape the country and the world which we live in for tomorrow. Yeah, so thank you so much. Thank you so much, viewers. Thank you so much for engaging this session with all your questions. I think that's one of the ways which we have a very engaging session, and we love to put up the sessions with these questions. So technical team, as we don't have any further questions, can we conclude with this session?